Hey everybody, this video is going to be an interesting one. It's not necessarily going to be a repair, at least I don't think it'll end up being worth repairing. This is actually an Optoma Pico Projector. It's the 101, PK101 I think. So this is a low resolution Optoma LED projector. It's battery powered. You can see here it has I think that's an aftermarket battery, or that's the company who actually made it, Element Tech. So you can see there it's a PK101. Trying to see if there's any obvious date info, nothing that stands out. I think that's probably for a rechargeable battery, that plug right there. So I picked this up on eBay for very cheap. You'll see why in a bit. But it came with all the wires and charging cables. I actually need a few of these old mini USB. But it comes with a tip ring collar 2.5 millimeter plug with NTSC input only. You can see you get your video and audio plug in there. It does not have an SD card slot. It does not take video through the USB. That's for charging and power only. So the problem with this, I'll show you. Watch the paper, or the foam rather. You can kind of see it. It's got a ton of bad pixels, so the DMD is shot. And this has, I think it's like a 600 by 400 DLP. And I looked up a cost of a replacement chip, and I think it was about 60 bucks. It's just not worth it for this thing. They have the PK301, which I used to have. Actually wasn't a bad projector. But I figure let's tear this down. Let's see what's inside. Let's see what makes an old Pico projector work. And I figure that'd be kind of neat. Let's see, will this fit? Yep. Alright, those four are loose. If there's one under this little foot in the front, sometimes they hide stuff under these. Yep. And that should be the last one. Alright. So I'll take that screw out, and then we'll just dump these. Come on. There's 1, 2, 3. Is that all? I feel like that's all of them. Oh no, there it is, that one. Oh, the air conditioning's coming on. Doesn't want to come out. Try it one more time. No, whatever. It'll come up. Oh, there we go. I say it'll fall out. So that should be all the screws. Let's get the screwdriver in there. We'll start popping the case apart. Feels like the bottom should come off. I don't see any more screws. I do wonder if there's something under this plastic bit as I snap it. But like I said, this is a teardown. It's kind of turning into a destructive teardown. Nope. Don't feel anything else in there. Alright, so let's just work our way around. There we go. There's the bottom. I think that's from me. What do we have here for construction? A lot of good shielding. That's pretty good. Here's the light engine up here. That's the whole optics, LED and everything. And then there's the main board. We're not going to find much inside here that's really all that interesting, I don't think. Well, maybe. It's going to be simple. You know, there's not going to be many sub-assemblies going on. But let's take a look at the back side of that main board. Yeah, that's definitely for a rechargeable battery. I'll bet you that little chip there's a charge controller. So I bet you that's all kind of linked together. So now the main board should be loose. Let's pop. Looks like this screw is holding it to the chassis. Let me see if we can pop it all apart. Let's see, let's take the focus assembly apart, with that out of the way too. Now I get a screwdriver. Hey, look at that. It's starting to come up. Oh, we got one more screw here. And we have screws going through into that board. Oh, we have screws going through into this board. Right there, those screws. So that's definitely a single assembly. We'll take it all out together. There we go. Now, they actually have some heatsink pads in there. Those are... I wonder if I can... Oh, no. I was kind of hoping I could salvage them. But, no, they're no good. Let's get back and look in here. I have it upside down. Well trend. There's the Dlp Controller. DDP 1505. Then serial number of sorts. Let's see what's under that. Nothing really. Couple chips. It looks like we have, is that an EEPROM? Can't really see the part number on that. But that's the, I think that's the main video controller. And then that drives the DMD. Oh, there's a little speaker. Got our speaker right there. Let's see, we had, did I pull a wire out? I was looking at this right here, but no, it doesn't look like anything was plugged into that. That must be for a different model. That one's plugged in. I'm pretty sure that's the LED driver connection. And then we can unplug, yep, we can unplug the light engine from the main board. That'll be trash also. I have no need for the main board. Let's go in here though. I want to see how they do the light. Looking at this, I suppose we're going to see RGB LEDs behind here, powered through here. Let's see, and those were driven, trying to see if there's that's probably this stuff here. Oh, come on, right here. It looks like there's some MOSFETs under there that are probably the oh no, there they are up top. Q1, 2, and 3. Those are our LED drivers here. So let's see, let's then take out the backboard. Now I think we might, no, we didn't get the DMD. The DMD is not in focus. So that's the Dmd Adapter Board. DMD plugs right into that white socket. DMD is held in by that black frame. Let's get that out. Wow, those are long screws. I'm glad I'm using my little cordless driver here. I just set the torque up a little higher. This is the ES 121. It's a great little screwdriver. Alright, that bracket comes off. And then there's the DMD. There's the back of it. It's really tight. Let me see if I can break it loose. There we are. Has a ton of stuck mirrors. Yeah, you can actually see Optoma is burned into it. And we saw that picture where it said Optoma. Somebody must have left it just sitting on for hours. There you go. You can see Optoma in there. That's the whole DMD, this tiny little thing. Like that. That's how it goes on the board. And then this would snap on to here. So that's your DMD setup right there. Kind of crazy when you think about it. And this is older too. This thing's from, I don't know, early teens or late 2000s, something like that. I'll put it up, whatever the date is. So we'll save this just because it's interesting. I don't have a DMD that small laying around. Now let's look at the rest of it. There's our shape lens in there. You know, it's just like a normal Dlp projector, just has the lamp and the integrator over here. There's no color wheel though, because the color is being created by the different color LEDs, I believe. And let's see those now. There we go. Yeah, all that heatsink pad is really dried out. It's going to try and peel it off. Alright, so let's see. That'll peel up. That'll peel up. There we can see the wires going down to the LEDs. Let's see. I wonder if there's probably screws under here. I'm gonna go clean this crap off. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm glad I gave that a look-see there. It looks like there's a screw in here. Yep. All right. This should now pop apart. Yep, there we go. There's the LEDs. Red, green, and blue. FLC LED cable. There we go. What are they doing here? Common negative, common positive. All right, so common positive, which goes to the bottom. So positive, oops. So positive and then negative, negative. Maybe we'll try it. I have a power supply we could probably use. Set that there. Let's see in here. That's where the lights, all the LEDs shine through. It looks like they might have supplemental filters in there too. You guys can see the light shining in. See? Red, green, blue. So there must be filters in there too. Let's see what's holding that all together. One, looks like 2 screws. See, I think this is the interesting part of these Pico projectors, is the optics, because they're able to put so much into such a small place. Alright, let's lift it up and let's see. Looks like it's glued too. There we go. Alright, so there's a couple lenses that fell out. They're just lenses, they're nothing special. The LEDs would shine through those lenses. That must spread the beam out, and then looks like there's some dichroic mirrors in there. So the light shines through all those. So we got beam coming in there, there, and there. Oops. Beam coming in through each of those. It goes across, reflects off the final one through that lens, through here, that mirror right there, to the DMD, and then off the DMD through the main lens, which then shines out. So it's very much like a normal projector. You can see in there. There we can see those filters. It's kind of like a hybrid LED a little bit. I see a fisheye objective array. That must be this mess here. That must be that. Let's see if I can break that glue without ruining everything. Definitely going to see if I can pop those dichroic lenses out. They're glued, but they do break easy. Alright, those are trash. There, you can kind of see that fisheye array. That helps kind of just even and mix the colors together so it's all even when it hits the DMD, for lack of a better description. But that's it. That's all there is to it. There's it's amazing what they can cram in there. So let me grab a power supply and let's see if we can fire up these LEDs to see what they look like. Move this junk out of the way. So let's see how this works. I am going to recycle this stuff here. Can't do anything with it, but I'm going to save the board. You know, I can harvest some of the parts off it. There's some good little MOSFETs and some other things on there I can probably use, connectors, and definitely saving the battery. That's actually a decent battery. But I figured I'd kind of cram it sort of back together. I put the LEDs in, I think they're upside down, if I remember correctly. They went on the top. But I wanted to show you guys how it works. Like basically, instead of a color wheel, when a color wheel spins, it's spinning in front of a white light. So when it's spinning in front of the white light, you get different colors that show up as the light shines through it. Just hold this behind it, a little easier to see that way. So when the light goes through here, you'll get red, and then blue, and then red, blue, green, so on and so forth. And then there's the index mark on the side. In this case, the index mark is on the blue. This is out of GT 1080 maybe. I can't quite remember. HD20, I forget. But when the index mark goes past, it tells the projector that, yep, there's the blue. So then X amount of degrees later, it'll see green. X amount of degrees later, it'll see red. And then, the cycle repeats. And every time it hits that index mark, it tells it where the color is so that it can make the picture properly. In this case, there's no color wheel, there's just 3 LEDs. So what it'll actually do is it'll flicker the LEDs in the sequence that's required for the picture that needs to be reflected off the DMD. So to give you an idea, let's see, I think we may see the flickering on the camera. I have the power supply set to 3.7 volts at 1.1 amps. It's more than it needs. But the battery's, 1100 milliamp. So there we go. All 3 LEDs are on. I don't know if we can see the flickering if I zoom in. Not really. But that also may be because it's on the static screen. But the LEDs, you can kind of see how they shine in there. What would happen is the light would shine through that dichroic mirror that was in there, or it would hit the first surface mirror and then bounce off the dichroic mirror and then eventually get combined through that optic there and then to the chip. So when the red portion of the picture was required, you'd only see the red LED. When the green part was required, you'd see the green LED, and then blue LED. And then if you needed a mix of the two, say you needed like orange, then green and red would shine and you get kind of an orange. I mean, it's, by turning the LEDs on and off at different rates, you can get those colors set. But you can see right now they're just more or less on. I don't think there's really anything else sensing anything here. I don't have a picture hooked up. I don't really think let me see if I can hook a picture up actually. Hold on. Alright, so I have a video signal hooked up. And let's see if we sense anything flickering. It says it's playing. And see if anything changes when I hit pause or stop. I'm not really noticing anything any different. Let's see if anything happens when I plug or unplug it. Nope. There's off. There's full bright. Yeah, I kind of hoped we'd see some flickering. Let's see if I can see if we can. No, can't really seem to get anything to affect it. I was kind of hoping we'd see some flickering with the picture, but it's either happening too fast or there's something wrong with this. It's really kind of hard to say. But, I couldn't not show this thing running outside of its case. And just dim those a little bit so it's not super bright. Maybe I see, I don't know. I keep thinking I see some flickering, but I'm not sure. Just to show you guys what I'm talking about, there's the LEDs actually out of the frame, and they're getting hot really fast. So I'm actually going to turn it off before I blind everybody. But there you go. There's the inside of an Optoma PK101 projector. That's the working bits. That's the speaker. And again, there's the bad DMD that has Optoma burned into it, which you can't quite see. Oops, came off. But like you saw earlier, it's got Optoma burned into it. So yeah, if you have any questions about one of these, I mean, this one in particular, I can't really help you much with it. There's really nothing repairable in here. The DMD itself, which is the problem, that guy, found those for about 60 bucks, and I think for a, what was it, 480 by 320 pixels, I don't think that's quite worth doing. But it was neat, and it was definitely worth the 15 bucks to make this video for you guys. So again, if you have any questions, comments, all that fun stuff, put it below. And if you don't subscribe, maybe think about it. Click on the little subscribe button there. And more importantly, as always, thank you for watching.